Your new beds are a company called Umano Medical, and we are a Canadian bed manufacturer. We're based back east, so all of our beds are designed and made in Canada. And they were actually designed specifically for the Canadian marketplace. We did a lot of research in Canada to find out what was important, and the first thing that came up was low height. So your beds do go down very low. And what's unique about it as well is even when the beds are at their lowest height, you still have 5 inches of clearance under the frame of the bed, so that you can still use all of your overbed tables and lifts. They do go down very low. When we designed our beds, we designed them so that they were very smooth, they're very seamless, they're not textured in any way, so they're very easy to clean. There's no little nooks and crannies, there's no places for things to get in. And so housekeeping quite like them because it's very quick for them to come in and actually do a very good clean on them. So the third thing that came up was ease of use. So we did make the beds very user-friendly. They're very straightforward. I always say don't be afraid of them. Don't be afraid to play with them. You're not gonna break it. But they are very user-friendly. So the majority of your controls are down here at the foot end of the bed. You have your standard controls, which is your head up, head down, knee up, knee down, and then bed up and bed down. We do have the ability to lock out your patient controls. So this will actually lock the patient's access to moving the bed. But if you do have a savvy family member who kind of comes in and pushes these buttons, in our touch screen under preferences, we also have a master lock. So you can see there's a little lock key there. And if you just touch this, and you can actually do a master lock on here, it'll ask you if you want to save it. You say yes. And now I can't undo this, okay? But for you guys and for nursing staff, there's also a visual cue on the home screen here to let you know the master lock is on, so that you don't come up here and say, the bed's not working. Okay, and to go in, you can just hit this and then turn it off again. It'll ask you again if you want to save it, and you're good. We have your Trendelenburg and reverse Trendelenburg buttons on the footboard as well. And then we also have a vascular knee button. So this essentially just brings the knee latch up instead of having to put pillows under the patient's knees. Okay. So you'll see on the touch screen here, this gives you a live version of what position the bed's in. So what angle the head is at, how high the bed is off the ground, etc. And you'll have your home button here. So basically that just takes you back to this home screen all the time, just like your standard phones or iPads. Most important thing everybody wants to know about is the bed alarms. So they're very easy to set. In order to turn it on, you would just hit this button right here. It'll ask you if you want to arm it. If you say yes, it's armed, okay? To turn it off, you just hit that again, disarm, yes, okay? Under patient risk management, this is where we get into our different levels of detection. So this bed is equipped with 3 levels of bed exit. So you have your first level here, which is the least sensitive, my patient's out of the bed. We have our second level here, which is the most common, and what it is 50% of the patient's weight is moving towards the outside of the bed. And then we have our really sensitive, so that will detect any movement within the bed itself. This tends to be the most common, so that's the one that tends to be used the most. There is a log in here, so this will actually let you know when the bed alarm was set, when the bed alarm went off, and when the bed alarm was turned off. Great tool for knowing if you have patients that are constantly trying to get out of bed at night, that type of thing. We also have an auto arm function in here. So auto arm essentially presets the bed alarm so that when the patient gets into the bed alarm will automatically go on, so that you don't have to remember to set it for them, okay? And again, when you go to your home screen, this is lit up. It shows you the auto arm function is on, okay? Activate it. This is also how you can adjust your volumes and your tones. So we have different tones and different volumes that you can adjust, and you can also connect to the nurse call system, so it goes directly through the nurse call. Your scale. Scale is very straightforward. It's a button on the home screen. We do recommend zeroing the scale before the patient gets in. So you just hit 0, and it actually gives you a little diagram, shows you exactly what to do. Please make sure the patient's out of the bed. Hit start. And now it will be zeroed successfully. And then you hit weigh, and it'll give you your weight. It is set up now to show pounds and kilograms, so both are there. And again, there's also a log in here, so it'll actually show you if there's been a change in your patient's weight. Okay. There's also a change equipment button. So if you have a patient who is in bed and they have say a different set of bolsters that they're gonna have, instead of having to re-zero the bed, you would just hit change equipment. It'll take an initial reading. It'll tell you to change the equipment, and then it'll take another reading. So it'll calculate what you either removed or added, so you don't have to re-zero the bed. Okay. Other thing that is of importance in preferences, so in here we have our lights configuration. So when your bed alarm is armed and monitoring your patients, these lights are green. On the side here, they're set in a way so that the patient in the bed can't see them, but if you have more than one patient in a room, they might bother another patient at night. So you can actually adjust that. So side view lights, that's off, low, medium, and high. We also have night lights under the bed. So we have lights that are situated under the bed down here. And again, we can turn those off, low, medium, or high. Right now I have them set on smart night lights. So after a time, they will shut off, and as someone approaches the bed, they will turn back on again. But you can choose to turn that on or off, and then you can adjust your screen as well. That is it in your preferences. That's the majority of it. There is battery backup power for the bed. All of your buttons will work when the bed's not plugged in, but your touch screen won't. And it'll show you here if the bed's plugged in, and if the bed is charging, then this will, if it's on battery power, that will be lit up. This bed is equipped with a 3-level bed extender. So it's a car door handle that's just underneath the base of the bed here, and you just pull, and it pulls the bed out. Okay, and then there's an additional cushion that goes in there. Okay. What else? Okay, so your brakes are situated here. They're quite bright. One brake will control all 4 casters. So you have your brake, neutral, steer. Okay, just the same as what you're used to. Side rails. So all of the side rails are dampened, meaning you just lift up and then they'll go down slowly. Okay. If you're in a hurry, you can force it. Don't be afraid to break it. Okay. Side rail controls are here. Again, fairly standard. You've got your head up, head down, knee up, knee down, bed up, and bed down. We do have a 30-degree Fowler button on here. So pushing and hold this will take the head to exactly 30 degrees, and then it will stop. Okay. There. We also have a chair position. So this will take the bed into a full chair and tilt the bed up. And then we have an electric flat, because this can sometimes be tough to get out of. So this will just take the bed back to its flat position again. CPR release handle is here. Okay, this will just drop the bed. Okay, but you are in control with this one. So you do have to have the handle pulled in order for it to drop. And that is a safety feature. If you pull the CPR release and then realize that maybe there's a tube or something that you didn't fix prior to pulling that, if you just let go, it'll stop. You can fix whatever you need to fix, and then you just pull it again. And then the motor will take over to flatten the rest of the bed. There's no reset required with the CPR release. Some other beds, sometimes you do need to reset. That's not applicable here. If your bed does freeze for any reason, bringing the bed up as high as it will go does a reset. Okay. Headboard and footboard come off very easily. They're not heavy. Just pop right out.